Happy Mother's Day, everybody. And of course, I refer to the Dark Mother, Shub-Niggurath, the Black Goat of the Woods with 1,000 Young. Hello and welcome to Volume 2, Episode 2 of the Neptune Society, our Call of Cthulhu tabletop live streaming campaign that takes place on the high seas of the 19th century. In case you didn't know what this was, that's what it is. And now, right now, you know if you like that sort of thing or not. So I beg you to hang out, but maybe that's not your thing. We're so happy to have you here today. I'm overwhelmed with excitement with the guests we have, the adventure I've prepared. I'm really fully, can I say fully erect? Is that okay? And I mean that in a friendly way. I'm fully erect right now, like the mast of a sailing ship. But before we get into it very quickly, I just want to say thanks again for joining us. Please follow us on Twitter and Instagram so you can know what games we're playing, when we're playing them, and who we're playing them with. Maybe your favorite comedian will be on the next show. Okay, let's get into it because I got a lot of game today. There's so much game, and I don't want to waste any time at all. So I'm going to bring out our fantastic players. He was in the first episode of the Neptune Society. He is reprising his role as the laudanum besotted ship's surgeon, Dr. McCorkadal. And he is an incredible writer, improviser, actor. I mean, you name it. My good pal, Mr. Humphrey Ker, everybody.
Hello.
Hello, sir. Happy Mother's Day.
And to you, it's not Mother's Day for me because we have a different one in the UK for some reason. It's earlier on in the year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What month?
March, maybe, I think.
Why do you guys do things like that?
I don't know. Well, there are some things we do that are different. There are some things that you guys do that are different, So it's not just us that are difficult.
To me, it seems like the things that you guys do are different, but the things that we do in America are right. Is this offensive to say the normal way?
Yes, it is offensive.
Oh, okay.
I think that's American exceptionalism.
Yes.
And for instance, America is the only place in the world that does month, day, year. I know that. Like we're weird. We drive on a weird side of the road, but every other country in the world is like day, month, year. And America is the one place that's like, no.
No, man. Month first. You got to go month first.
That's because of Jesus, right? He said that. And you guys dig into him.
Jesus always said month first. In the New Testament, those were his final words right before he died on the cross.
Right.
But don't worry about American exceptionalism in this adventure today, Mr. Ker, because it's a very diverse group of international heroes. They're going to take on the Cthulhu mythos, and I'm going to bring out your next hero. She's a correspondent for Magic the Gathering. She is a veteran role player and streamer, and she was so great as Moira of Mirth in our Dark Ages two-parter that we did right before this Neptune Society campaign. I'm so happy to have her back, playing a Spanish novelist and adventuress named Alma de Galicia, who goes by, I think, she goes by a pen name. She writes as a man. Algun Verdad is the just wonderful, effervescent Becca Scott, everybody.
Thanks, Jared.
Yes. You are effervescent.
Oh, veteran. I'm a veteran role player. You make me sound old. I'm ageless, and my character has the trait that I age gracefully. I will not start to experience physical age until age 50. I know that was just Clint blowing smoke up my ass.
Actually, I helped to make that character, and that trait was rolled on a random table. So, it really was. It really was. And
now we've given away that I let you make my character for me.
No. Well, but we didn't though. Like you give a lot of input, but then we kind of we collab, right?
Well, I did name her Alma Ramos Serrano de Galicia.
Oh, chills! I can't wait to meet her and see her in action. Thank you for being here. Let's bring out our third and final hero, our player. This guy, he has a very popular podcast that deals with lots of horrific things. So he's a perfect fit for this show, and he's a good pal of mine. I'm so happy he's here to play with us today. Please welcome Henry Zebrowski, everybody. Hey, pal, how are you?
So good to be with others on the internet.
Yeah,
that's a real treat.
No, I am very, very excited about this. We played Call of Cthulhu very often when you lived in a horrible apartment next to the highway in Brooklyn. Remember when we
did you play there with me?
Yes, we did. Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Underneath a highway, nothing but I'm not gonna say skeezed out bros live there. I will say that a collection of up and coming young comedians live there.
Sometimes those two things overlap.
And I remember being made fun of by one of your roommates as they'd come in to see the other comedians all playing Call of Cthulhu in a circle. Several insinuations that we would never make love or kiss. We would never kiss anyone.
Right.
Jokes on that guy, right?
Yep.
What an idiot. Because
our audience is below 13, so it's good you censored yourself.
Yes.
We've kissed plenty of ladies since then.
Yeah, it's all I did for a year just to get over that afternoon.
Oh, just a year?
Yep, that's it.
And that apartment was definitely Lovecraftian because there were, in fact, rats in the walls.
Oh, very nice.
I think we can sign off now.
It's the end of the street.
No, I think it's time to play. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Sure.
Okay.
Never, no.
Remember, feel free to ask any questions about the rules because I don't mind stopping to talk about that. And also remember, it's a horror game. So,
I've got a question.
Oh, yes, great. Already.
I'm just going to ask a question on behalf of someone in the chat who asked, because they said Twitch blipped, what trait does Becca have that means she's ageless or seemingly ageless?
Well,
ages gracefully.
Ages gracefully. It's in the Gaslight book.
There you go, Mr. Bone.
It's going to be
I think it's in the Gaslight book. It might actually have been in the 7th edition core book. And I was going to mention that it's cool because if Becca keeps coming back and playing, this campaign sometimes hops ahead by years and could end up going all the way into the 1890s or the 1900s. So her character wouldn't start losing strength and dexterity until she turned 50. And I can't wait to see you play this character at 50. But let's meet her. Let's meet her at 23 first.
Sure.
Okay. Great. So like I was saying, it is a horror game. So surviving is winning. Try to survive. And with that done, I will begin our story by saying the Neptune Society is a very exclusive club with a strange secret meeting hall and dormitory in the Limehouse district of London. And on one particular night during Victoria's reign, they are meeting at their big oak table, and a man who has the bearing of a Royal Navy officer places onto the table a bottle. And inside of that bottle is a rolled up piece of parchment. And together with like gloves on and, little tongs, they uncork the bottle and they pull out the document inside. And he looks up at his colleagues and he says, "It is written in Spanish. Very well written Spanish. Someone with novelist skills definitely wrote this rescue note." And it begins April 28th, 1839. Mutineers took us ashore with limited supplies, no food or water. We were 400 miles off the coast of Chile, far west of Valparaiso. And that is when the magic of a flashback happens as they're reading the document. And we find ourselves in a small dinghy floating towards a beautiful green glowing island. And in this dinghy are 3 people. Dr. John McCorkadall, what's a quick description of his appearance? And by the way, the year is now, like I said, 1839. So it's 2 years since we last saw him.
Yes, well, he's a 41-year-old man. He's tall and haggard, rather dour figure. He is, depending on how long they've been in this dinghy, he's probably suffering from fairly intense alcohol and laudanum withdrawal symptoms.
They haven't been in the dinghy long because what I'll say to you, our 3 players, you were sitting on one end of the dinghy, and on the other side, there's a guy rowing and a guy with a flintlock pointed at you.
Ooh.
These mutineers who took over the boat that you were all traveling on have very kindly decided to drop you off at this island instead of murdering you.
Those sons of bitches.
Yeah,
right.
and they're pressed men. They look haggard. They haven't been eating like they want. Things have not been going well on the ship, and they have a crazed look in their eye.
Okay,
also,
the dogs have been just basically spent a lot of time being like, "You'll hang for this, Thompson. You'll swing for this."
What is the beautiful Miss Alma de Galicia? Can you describe her a little bit?
She's very proper. She's tall and thin and always fully dressed. So, high collar and to the ankles, to the wrists of frilly frocks that she managed to take 2 of them on the dinghy with her, if that's permissible.
It may be. We'll find out. Actually, she wants 2 frocks. Is that what you're saying?
I would like to have 2 frocks.
2 frocks.
2 frocks.
Okay, you know what? What I want to say is that each of you were allowed to take 1 item with you from the boat. The mutineers were nice enough to do that. Do you want 2 frocks to be the items that you bring?
Certainly not. My locked oaken box from my lover Diego. I must return it to him. It is a game we play. He gave me the locked box, and I must, when I see him, reunite him with his locked oaken box.
Yes, so you have a locked oaken box from your lover who you were going to meet in Santiago, right? So that is the item you have brought with you. Before we get to our final player, Dr. McCorkadall, what do you think you brought with you? They allowed you 1 item.
Can my 1 item be my doctor's bag?
It can be. Yes, it can be. Although I will remind you that you have a strange totem that you had in your last adventure. Now, it's tough to decide.
I'll take the totem. Because I think it's going to be more fun if I'm suffering from some sort of terrible withdrawal symptoms.
Great. And finally, they point the gun.
That totem was destroyed by the power of Dagon when he perished.
All right, well.
Oh.
Go check.
Oh, well. You know what? The show's over. Clint, how dare you? No, thank you. Continuity is important.
Very well, then I've got my doctor's bag because it's got some sweet tinctures in there, baby.
So you can get your fix the whole time. And finally, could you describe to us, Henry, Mr. Walton Weatherall?
WW. That's what I go as. WW. Yeah, all I need is my cigar case. Because that's all that really matters and comes down. A man's got to relax no matter what the circumstances. And so, yes, I do believe I arrived very well dressed. I am a showman and a collector of fine oddities and fine and entertainment pieces, right? So my goal is I like to entertain people. I like to amaze people. And in some ways, I hope that they get a little educated along the way. But if not, either way, I put on a show that's worth cash money. So I'm sitting here. I'm sitting yet. I'm not you. God, you don't think I haven't lived hard scrabble? I can live hard scrabble. Yeah, I said, yes, my clothes may be soiled, but as soon as they see what fine goods I can purvey to these young gentlemen, there was some kind of, I imagine there's some sort of deal we can all kind of agree upon about how maybe they need employment at one of my many circuses.
They say Thompson, who Dr. McCorkadall mentioned, is like, sorry, no deals.
Every man has a price, my good young man. Have you ever seen a rhinoceros?
Can't say as I have.
I've got 4 of
them. They are very insistent that they cannot take you back to the boat. They have to drop you on this island. But if Walton Weatherall would like to try to convince them to give him something or do something for him, he could make a roll to try to do that.
There's got to be everybody's got a lever. If you want to read certain books and certain tomes that say every person has a lever, I'm certain there's a way that we can come to some sort of mutual understanding. Maybe some sort of arrangement can be made, something you can give us to allow us. We can't certainly just die on this island. I'm worth far too much to just rot.
The guy rowing the boat is like, oh my God, shoot him. But Thompson is like, yeah, fine. Well, actually, why don't you make a persuade roll or a fast talk roll, Henry? All of the skills on your sheet are in alphabetical order, and you can see them in columns in the middle of the page. So I think it sounds like you're fast talking him, but you could also try a persuade if you'd rather.
I think that I should go for fast talk. My fast talk's higher.
Yeah, try it. Yeah, give it a roll.
See what he can help us out. If we're gonna end up, we're got to be on this island anyway. I want something that's gonna help us out.
Great. Go ahead and roll the 2 10-sided die, and one is your 10s die, one is your 1s, and you're trying to roll. What is your fast talk skill?
65.
Oh, that's not bad. Yeah, try to roll under that.
What do I do?
You just roll your 2 10-sided die, and then see if you roll under there.
Oh, I honestly didn't even know I was supposed to bring my die.
That's okay.
Yeah, do an online one.
We can use an online dice roller. You know what? I'll roll it for you right
D100.
now. I'll roll it for you right now.
D100.com, is that what it's called?
If you put in like roll D100, if you literally Google that, it should find you like a thing.
Yeah. And I'm going to go ahead and roll it for you right now. Oh, you got it. He's got it.
I have one now, so I can just roll the D10, right? I roll
you want a D100.
Yeah, you got it. I got 70.
A 70. Yeah, they're like, shut up and get off the boat, because now the dinghy's gotten to the point where you could probably wade waist deep through the water to the island.
These pants are not going to undry themselves. I guess they will.
Out, all of you.
As I get out, I say, I remember you, Thompson, and you, Mitchum. I'm going to see both of you hang from the yardarm.
Perhaps we could offer you some sort of consolation. Perhaps if you take us to Chile, to Santiago, or perhaps to Valparaiso, to the port city, then we could offer you compensation. I am a very wealthy woman. You may have heard of my books. I write under Algun Verdad.
No, there's nothing you can offer us. We're going to go start our own country in South America, and we'll have all the women and food that we want. And now they start pulling the dinghy away, and you guys are left waist deep in ocean water. The waves are crashing in on you.
It's not going to work.
We just got to get to an island. We just got to get to the island then. We have to get over to the land, because we're not going to do well out here. I'm not exactly the most physical constitute man that's ever lived.
Walter, that is very clear to us.
And so, yes, you can now move onto the beach. And this is your new home, at least for right now. It is a beautiful tropical island, and you know that when the ship approached it, you didn't get to see much, but you know that it is not very large, but it is not tiny. It is not a K or, something that's like, it's definitely a couple miles across and covered in lush tropical jungle. You all have an item. Dr. McCorkadal has his doctor's bag. Miss Galicia has her locked oaken box, and Walton Wetherall has his cigar case. And now you are trapped on a deserted island with those items, and I would like to know what your character would do next.
All right.
The surf is crashing in. The sun is beating down. You immediately think, perhaps, Miss de Galicia, that a high-collared dress was maybe not the best choice. What would you say?
A palm frond and fan myself.
Great.
Well, I hope one of you has some sort of shelter-building skills, some sort of ability to put together. I've seen like a lean-to or something to keep the rain out, because I am simply chafed.
I've certainly written about characters, so I have done research on what it would require.
I must say,
but I think it would be better to oversee your work, if the two gentlemen wouldn't mind putting together, gathering perhaps any sort of resource you find on the beach, these branches here.
Oh, you're talking about good old-fashioned hard work, huh?
Yes, Walton. That is what I expect you to do. Are you not prepared?
Oh, I've worked all over this globe. I've worked in hard scrabble. I was raised in the streets of Baltimore. I know what's going on.
Could you show me your palm? I would like to see your palms.
Oh, it's fine. I have no scarring.
It's baby skin, I see. Like an infant, fresh from the womb.
Father said, use your ideas to make money, and that's what I did.
Well, perhaps today will be the day where you start.
Yes, I like to say the doctor walks a little way up the beach and is just like, oh, Jesus Christ, how did they get trapped on an island with these two? Just like surreptitiously opens his bag away from them and just takes a massive snort of laudanum. Like, right, okay, well, first things first, I think we'll have to build some sort of shelter.
Yes, that will set him right, and he can build some sort of shelter. Hold on, let me just get into the 11-page document I created for today's adventure. Yes, so is that what you'd like to try to set about doing first, as a shelter?
Well, I think that's what I'd like to do, is step into, like, advise us all to go into the tree line to get out of the sunshine, because the sun can drive a man mad.
I'll help you with you. I help you, you zooted up doctor. I know what you're doing in that bag. You think I haven't heard a man with the urban sniffles before?
I don't know what you're talking about. How dare you make this an imputation upon him? I'm a surgeon in the Royal Navy. I would never do such a thing.
Perhaps it will be important that we have a remainder of whatever supplies you have. Perhaps you want to inventory them to us.
Certainly, yes. I can show you what I have in here. I've got
You're holding?
I've got some tools, surgery tools, that sort of thing, scalpels and such like.
We can use that to cut down some of these lean-tos and create, I imagine, a structure that has to go like this, that we are above the ground, because, bugs, they come from the underneath, and then we create some sort of canopy from the top of it.
So
that is a good idea. Would you guys like to try to use some of the sharp tools in the bag to start trying to create some kind of shelter?
Yes, certainly. As someone has pointed out in the chat, I probably would have a bone saw in here for making amputations and that sort of thing, which might be set to the purpose of sawing down some branches and palm fronds and the such like.
Great. Well, in order to do something like that, I mean, you definitely have the tools that you need. A bone saw, you definitely have the tools you need. I just need either a craft carpentry skill, or I'll let you skip straight to kind of a mechanical repair skill to kind of start to...
What about a natural world?
Like natural world.
Which woods might be harder or softer than other woods?
Yeah, that makes sense. I could help you even more if you're able to find that, but you'll have to go into the jungle a little bit. Do you want to do that?
I'll go with you to the jungle. I'll back you up.
I think it would be best if we're not left leaving me alone on the beach until we know more.
Of course, Miss Alma, please stay close. Stay close to the gentleman.
So everybody heads into the jungle, and great. You head into the jungle, and it's very thick. It has not been regularly trod by human feet, it appears. And you hear all sorts of insects and things crawling through the underbrush. And perhaps that's a bit disturbing or scary to you, or maybe you scoff at danger. But regardless, you've had to travel in quite a ways when we're going to have Dr. McCorkadall make his natural world roll to find good wood for this shelter.
I rolled a 59 on a 70.
Well, that's good. You have done what you needed to do. So you find, a nice flexible kind of like, they're like these green shoots that actually kind of are good for like bending and building into a shelter. And you can definitely easily cut them with your doctor's tools, and you can begin making a shelter. You just have to decide where you'd like to make it. Just to be clear, as the keeper, you guys really, I'm allowing you to try to survive on this island. So let me know what you would do, to make that happen. Like,
well, if you've got the shelter, to be honest, I'm starving. I'm absolutely starving, and so I feel like I might volunteer to go look for something edible that we can eat, because at this point in time, I'm famished. I'm getting dizzy. All I've done is smoke cigars.
Great. Do you want to look around in the jungle for an animal and try to hunt it?
I would look for an animal. I will also accept vegetation. If I have some sort of natural skills here. I've been around the world, not that much. Normally I have some attendees that help me. But this way, I seem to remember some of the things they brought back for me.
Could I offer Mr. Wetherall the use of one of my scalpels and some of my surgical twine to form a sort of spear out of a likely stretch of long, pliable wood?
I can try it. I don't know. I honestly don't have much building skills, but I may try it.
Well, here's what you're going to do. You're going to go look for fruit, you said, or edible plants of any sort. So give me a natural world roll, Mr. Weatherall.
I got a natural 100.
A natural 100 is it's not great. In fact, some people call that a critical fail. And what I'm going to rule is that Walton Weatherall becomes quite lost out in the jungle.
Help, little help.
Meanwhile, let's leave him screaming help in the middle of the deep foliage while Dr. McCorkadal and Alma are trying to kind of like put together some sort of shelter. Do you guys have cut a lot of these shoots that you think will work really well? Do you want to try to construct the shelter now?
You have to make the structure first and then put the leaves on top of it. I know because I have library use, and I researched this for one of my novels about a group that was lost in the woods.
Actually, that's interesting. Why don't you? Maybe you did research it at one point, and it's okay for you to remember back that research. So give me that library use roll.
Ooh, 40 out of 45.
Okay, so yeah, you actually did research it. Now, researching something and doing it are two different things, but if you guys want to make the mechanical repair roll to kind of start putting these things together as a shelter now, I'll give you a little bonus to it because of Alma's research.
Okay.
I just hold my box and I tell people where to go.
Suddenly. Have you read Swiss Family Robinson?
Yes, it's very good.
Ooh.
Wait, no, it has not been written yet.
Yes, 1812. It's been written.
Yes, it's the cutting edge, very new book.
Yes, I don't read novels; they're too Catholic for me. But I hope that you will have managed to learn something from them. No,
just medical journals, I presume.
That's right, and the scriptures. Right. Anyway, in my younger days, in my wilder youth, I used to occasionally read the Old Testament. Now,
so you've never seen my work? I'm very famous, you know.
Is that right?
Yes, that's why I could board a passage.
Oh, I suspect people will be sad to hear you've died on this island. Anyway.
Enough stuff for that mechanical repair skill.
Well, I rolled a 62 on a 10.
Okay.
Do I get to? You said we might have an advantage. Do I get to roll another?
That's true, but I was only going to give you plus 10% for Alma's memory of her research. So still, you didn't score within 20%. I'm going to say that you work on this for like many hours, and it's starting to get dark, and you think it might hold together, but you're not sure. And the thing that is disturbing you is that Walton Weatherall has not come back. And let us now go to Walton Weatherall. Walton, it's getting dark. It's actually getting quite cool out here in the jungle. You're having trouble seeing your hand in front of your face. And do you have any way to create light or anything like that?
Matches from my cigar
case.
Your
cigar case.
Yes, I do.
Great.
Can I fashion some form of? I have sewing. I don't think that does very much. I'm very good at making.
You have sewing? That would have really helped with that shelter.
Yes.
Maybe when you get back to them,
I could have helped.
But in the meantime, you find a way to kind of. I'm gonna say the matches are definitely enough for you to find a way to kind of light some like foliage to like use as like a. As a torch so you can see a little bit. It's not ideal. Like every once in a while you have to go and like put it out again and like light another
tell you
one.
What, if I could survive Burma in 27, I could survive this jungle.
Let's see which direction you went in. I'm really, really interested to see which direction you went in.
I went towards the fruit.
Sure you did.
All right.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so after a while, Walton, you actually come to an enormous body of water that seems to kind of be part like into the island. So this would be a lagoon. Like it probably does lead out to the sea, but you are looking at like a big lagoon. And the water is very quiet, and here above the lagoon, the trees have opened and the moon is shining down really bright. And why don't you give me a spot hidden or listen roll?
Yes, both. I got 35 in both, right? So let me try this. 12 on a 30. I got a 12.
Wow.
I would do a spot hidden.
Yeah. Okay. So check that skill, which just means that you
35.
can improve it. Yeah. So you succeed. I'm going to tell you what you spot, but also you can make a note that skill might improve later. I'll make a note for you too. Walton, spot hidden might improve. Okay. So, you see for a second a shadow in the moonlight out in the lagoon. It looks like a body kind of standing in the lagoon, and then the body kind of goes under the water. And it's so
big
quiet.
enough crate. A big enough crate. I've been looking for years for a proper aquatic wonder at the end of my circus. What wonder is that? Is that a whale? Can I tell whether or not it's a new whale?
You can make it a natural world roll.
I got a 50 on a 20.
Okay, so you have no idea, but you must have it. This specimen is definitely something truly peculiar. You know, it'll bring in so much cash flow. Now, let's say that Walton, you're kind of wandering about for a little while longer, but the night is passing.
I
Yeah,
know
you're starving.
I gotta get back. I gotta get back to the group. I know that at this point I'm seeing them. I don't know if I'm seeing any fruit. I don't think I've seen shit.
You know, enough hours have passed. I'll let you have one more natural world attempt to find something to eat.
I got a 24 on a 20.
This is a good opportunity to talk about luck. So, you have a luck score in the middle of your sheet. You can, and when you fail a roll, and you don't fail it by much, like just now you failed it by 4, you can erase 4 of your luck points, and you will be successful in the roll. Clint is now telling me that you might not have a luck score in front of you, so I'm going to roll it for you right now. Oh, you have an excellent luck score. Your luck score is 89. So would you like to take it down to 85 and succeed in that roll?
Yes, I would. I would like some fruit. I'm absolutely starving, and a man needs fuel for his brain to work.
Very luckily, while you're traveling about in the woods, you bump into a tree really hard enough that it hurts yourself. But then in a classic silent movie fashion, fruit, bang, pops onto your head. And you realize that this melon or whatever has fallen it looks quite edible. And taking a large bite, you have now fed yourself. And I'm going to say you do make it back, but it takes you many hours. And in the morning, you guys, your shelter is a mess. It's fallen over. The whole thing is yes, exactly. Alma, you're probably quite annoyed. Day 1 is over, and we're going to see if you guys have suffered any damage from exposure and walking about all night. So everybody make a con roll.
Oh, good.
I did 64.
69.
I did 64 on a 50. I believe my con is 50.
Okay, so you failed yours. I'll tell you what happens in just a second. Dr. McCorkadall?
I succeeded extreme.
Oh, you did.
I've never felt so alive.
Great. Well, the good news is that in his walkabout, Walton Wetherell found food and he found fresh water. So Walton Wetherell is only going to take a little bit of damage from not having a shelter over his head and walking about in the dark all night.
All of this was subparly done.
Yes, and Walton Wetherell unfortunately takes the maximum amount of damage he could from that, which is 3 damage.
Great.
So, yes, he found food and water, but he was walking about, and when he finally comes back into camp, he's completely exhausted. His clothes are ripped. He's covered in like little cuts and bruises.
Remind me to come back here with my attendants. Because
you are perhaps the worst person we could possibly be trapped on an island with.
I'm a people person, right? This is really what it comes down to. I'm a people person, not an island person.
Sure.
Listen, if we're gonna survive this, we've got to work together. And he like grabs you like like this. And it's
I'm
evident that
I'm on your team, junkie.
he is also going a bit crazy.
I want to help you. I'm here. I'm a part of it. Tell me what you need me to do.
You have to listen to me, okay? So today we must find out, is this island inhabited at all? Perhaps there are people here. Who knows what these silly mutineers are up to, or whether they even know where they put us.
Yes.
That's a good
Yes,
point.
you're right.
We should make a sort of trip around the exterior of the island.
That's an excellent idea.
Instead of going through the brush, which seems to be highly difficult,
You should
and none
not
of
do
us
that
have
at all.
skill sets for it, we go around the edge to kind of see where we are in place of this little ocean. I have no clue. Maybe we can even be close to some of the place, because eventually we need to figure out how the hell to get off of this island.
Yes.
I will lead the way.
Very good. And it sounds like a great plan to me. So you all head out to the beach and start circumnavigating. Now, do you want to go to what you understand as like kind of east and then northeast around the island, or do you want to go because you think you're on the southern edge, or do you want to go sort of west and then north?
Is there any high ground? Is there anywhere where we can see where there's high ground we could reach?
Oh, interesting. Okay, yeah, actually, let me see here. So looking, you see that in the interior, on the west end of the island, there seems to be a very high spot. That's where it gets highest. But it would be tracking back into the jungle.
I have a feeling that I personally will die in the jungle.
Walter, don't say that.
I'm just going to be here. I'm not honest with many people, but at this point in time, I'm already stripped down to the bone.
No,
24 hours.
Like
I've
me to
been
be honest?
24 hours without a suit freshening. I'm not quite certain what else. So I say we stick to the outside. See what we
It
can
may
see.
take longer, but I say we go the long way along the beach, yes. Also, I too believe you will die on this island.
Please, look, we've got to. This one thing we've got to keep our morale up, everybody. For the love of God.
You must tell him the truth.
I'll tell you what. Look, I could give you a little something out of my doctor's bag, a little pick me up. It'll make you feel a bit more positive about your outlook here.
Well, if
You've piqued my curiosity, young Mr. Doctor, man.
Yes,
if we come across a wild boar, he will be so much more able to fight it if he also drinks whatever you're drinking there.
Well, here's the rule I've made for you all. Yes, actually, right now, Dr. McCorkadall can give our friend Walton Wetherell a little bit of a pick-me-up, right, from his doctor's bag. The doctor can roll medicine to do that. He may heal the 3 HP that Walton has taken in his travels, but the doctor can only do this one time until you have food, shelter, and water. Right now, you've found a source of water, you've found a source of food. The shelter hasn't really come together yet. But if you want to go ahead and heal the HP that Walton has lost now, you can do that, Doctor.
Sure. I rolled a 15, which is an extreme success on
Ooh, an extreme success. Well,
no, it's not. I'm so sorry. It's not. I missed it up hard. I missed the extreme by 1 point.
Can you explain how many points does it qualifies as extreme?
Yeah, 1/5 of your skill is an extreme success. 1/2 of your skill is a hard level success, and then your regular skill level is a regular success if you can roll under your regular skill level. So in all of those little spots beside the skill number they show those for you.
Could I spend a luck to make it an extreme success?
You certainly can.
1 point. All right, I'm going to do that.
I'm not going to let you check it because you're a doctor and this is your thing anyway.
Sure.
But I am going to say that we won't even roll like a D3 to see how much you heal. Like extreme success, Walton, you're back to full HP. And you can start moving around the edge of the island. Do you want to go west or east?
I say we go west where we see this high point you speak
Yes, I'll go west as well. I agree.
Very good. So heading west around the island, okay, let's see.
I never should have worn my good shoes. You can't even get the. When's the next time I'm going to be in Italy?
So
Your bad shoes are also gone. They were on the ship.
Traveling west around the island, the beach gradually becomes rockier and harder to traverse. It'll after you walk for a little while, you notice where the lagoon probably starts and leads into the island here, because we said that was sort of on the west side. but also like to kind of even go like deeper into where the lagoon is, like inside the island. Like it's very rocky here. That it would require a climb roll from each of you to kind of keep going along this rocky coast here.
Maybe we should now we know that this is this way. Maybe we should sweep the other way as well to see if there's because essentially what we're looking for is some sort of food source. We have to go and get the water from the lagoon.
We are not finished here. Let's first climb if we can. I cannot.
Let me see if I can climb.
Almost like, would someone help me up? Like, could someone lift me onto this cliff? Yeah.
One day, my lady, if you saw my glorious Belvedere, my main attendant, how I miss him. He would die for me, and he did.
Yes, I remember him on the boat.
Yeah, he got shot by the mutineers. Yeah.
He's very
I failed my climb.
Okay.
Oh. Let's see how I do. I also failed my climb.
Okay, well, what I will allow you to do while you guys are out here is make some natural world rolls as you look at these kind of cliffs. And
that I made hard.
Okay, wow. Doctor, you realize that this
I also made have as well, so.
Oh, great. Okay, so this kind of inlet here with this like a rocky kind of area, like there's going to be like a lot of coves and tide pools, which indicate that there'll probably be like caves down here and also like good places to find like oysters and shellfish. But it will require climb and jump rolls to get down to it. Now, if someone were to aid themselves with tools in some way, it could make it easier.
Well, I have a cutlass, it seems, if the mutineers didn't take it off of my person.
They certainly, I'm sorry to say, Miss Galicia, they certainly did. They wouldn't have allowed you weapons in that dinghy because they didn't want you to mutiny against the mutineers. So perhaps if you find something similar or craft something similar, you will be able to use your sword skill.
Can I use my sewing skill to make some sort of rope to lower me down?
You definitely can. Would you like to spend a couple hours doing that? I mean, I that sounded sarcastic, but I mean that sincerely. That's a super valid choice.
I feel that if we're going to get it, because the one thing is we get these clams and oysters, we're going to have to cook them anyway. We can't. I don't think we can eat them raw out here. I'm not certain from what I've seen. My various. I believe I would know this is that if it's sitting in all of these still pools of water, they probably are going to be collecting a lot of bacteria, little microbes. It's our phlegmatics. Will fire if we eat them without
atomic
firing.
Organisms. Yes. Would you like to try that? Would you like to use your sewing skill and sew together grasses into a rope?
If I can, yes. Actually, I would. I would like to try to shoot. I would like to try to build some sort of rope because we could
give me that sewing skill, my friend.
I heavily succeeded. I under half.
You guys are really impressed by Weatherall, like taking these grasses, and eventually there's this like really kind of taut rope that you can use to kind of lower yourself down onto these like rocky shoals and platforms and kind of move along this rocky coast. Would you like to do that?
Yes, I would.
Okay. I'm going to go ahead and say with the rope, climb rolls aren't necessary right now. Is the entire party going?
No, it'll just be me. I'll get these clams.
I'll stay up at the top of the cliff to hold on to the rope in some way or to help to secure it, ensure that it doesn't become untied.
I start to go, but he seems very confident that he wants to prove something by doing it alone.
I will get these clams.
You can do it.
I will feed you, madam. I will feed you, doctor. Thank you.
I would love for that to happen.
So,
thank you, Mr. Weatherall.
As you're kind of, climbing down, lowering yourself in this area of the island, and you actually, many minutes have passed, maybe 15, 20, then maybe 30. You're kind of looking all around in this rocky area and using the rope to get from one end to the other. Give me a spot hidden roll.
Nah, I don't get it. I missed it.
Okay. No problem. I will say that you do find in one of the like little tide pools, like you find some like shells that look to be like oysters or some kind of shellfish that you guys could try to eat.
Oh, look at this. This looks absolutely fantastic. I haven't had a meal like this since Corsica.
Great. So Walton can return to the rest of the party with some food for the evening. Food has been provided. He also brought you maybe some fruit from last night. So Walton is, he's pulling his weight in terms
Who's
of
the provider?
Yeah,
Walton, I must say, you have very much surprised us.
No one expected it. No one even wanted it.
Very much so.
Okay, so that's where that's what's out there. You guys can continue to explore that area, or you can do as Miss de Galicia mentioned and head the other way, or you could head into the jungle.
Well, I feel like I really haven't pulled my weight yet, so I want to use my archaeology skill to perhaps I can know something about the type of rocks here and know whether there would be a cave that would be and which direction it would be, because that seems like an easy way to get shelter.
Interesting. So that's interesting. Here's what I will allow you to do. Roll your archaeology skill and tell me what result you got.
Ooh, we got a hard success.
So I think that what you understand, Miss De Galicia, is that given the location of the lagoon here, you know exactly where, if there was any kind of settlement on this island, where they would put it. They would put it on like the north shore of the lagoon, where they had easy access to a couple food sources and an easy way to kind of get in and out of the island by boat, but that would be defensible. So you think you know where, if there's a settlement, and I'm not saying there is, but if there's a settlement, you think you know where it might be, it will require going into the jungle.
Gentlemen, I need you to believe that perhaps we can get out of here if we find others that know the civilization here, perhaps. There could be a whole settlement, and we must go towards the laguna on the north side.
I'm certain once they see the fineries that we have to offer and a sort of bridge to the modern world, they might be amenable to our presence inside of their settlement.
Yeah, we're near the mouth of the laguna, you said, so perhaps we try and wade through the water to avoid all this climbing that none of us are good at.
Yeah, I mean, you could do that, or you could kind of like, it's kind of like you'd have to get back to where the beach is sandy again and kind of cut across through the woods is kind of the easiest way. Because like here, it's like a rocky beach and it leads down to water, and it's a little tricky to traverse. But you can definitely cut back to where the beach is a little bit more walkable, and then into the jungle over to the north end of the lagoon. Is that what people want to do?
There are people this way. It is my vote.
Well, certainly. Let's go and try and make contact. If there are people here, I've seen no sign of them thus far.
But we don't have any blunderbusses or cutlasses or swords or anything to sort of protect ourselves, just in case they're like mad.
I assume you should walk very quietly. We will all be very stealthy as we approach.
How many cigars do I have?
You have, let's see. You have 10.
Okay. Are you going to share any of your cigars that you have brought as your one item?
Well, at this point, it might be some form of island currency. So that's where I seem to be holding all the cards.
You all are walking through the jungle toward this north shore of the lagoon, and when you've now found the edge of the lagoon, the coast of it, and you're walking along it, and just as Miss De Galicia theorized, you see structures covered over with moss and foliage and vines, black stone structures sitting there and rippling in the hot sun. A lot of them look in a state of disrepair, and you can see large stones that have fallen off of them, and that some of them are cracked, and they are of a very strange make and design. Not something that like Walton Wetherell has seen in like the Polynesian cultures that he has surveyed, nor you, Dr. McCorkadall, in your travels with the Royal Navy. Yes, there is some sort of strange city here buried in vines and green verdure.
It is absolutely fascinating.
my anthropology skill in case they have been written about somewhere.
Yes, that's a great idea.
Yeah,
Go ahead
I was
and
gonna.
do that.
Maybe a library use even.
I'll do a backup if she doesn't do it. If she can't get it.
Do you know, I've never read about this culture.
You certainly haven't, and it almost sets you a little ill at ease. It seems like a very strange place here. Design of buildings and everything looks very strange and alien to you.
Seen nothing like it in all of my reading.
May I do a roll? I'll now do a roll and see if I recognize anything.
Please do.
Anthropologically.
Please do.
I succeed. I succeed on my fifth. I got a 36 out of 50.
That's good. I'm going to say that you, Walton Wetherall, are like this type of architecture belongs to no known civilization. This is a tremendous discovery.
This is new shit. This is absolutely
So vulgar, Mr. Wetherall.
I don't mean. I'm sorry, young.
Not in front of the lady, Weather. For God's sake.
I spent so long with I do not mean to offend. I'm just so full of natural exuberance, thinking about how, like, just look at this island. We can get your food stands over here, knock out this chunk. It's like no one will do it because you have to have someplace for visitors to eat.
Maintain its natural beauty. It's so important.
You just don't understand good business, young madam. You don't understand the furtherance of science.
Okay. Everybody make listen rolls while Wetherall is telling you how he's going to turn this into a colony / amusement park.
I am continuing to yell and I hear nothing.
I also hear nothing.
The blood is pounding in my ears.
So suddenly the insects kind of kick up for a second, and it's one of those odd moments where you feel like your conversation has been interrupted by, the world, the natural world around you. But the city looms ahead. No, you may not in this case. But you may and go investigate this settlement, or you can go fuck that and move on with whatever you'd like to do next.
Can I move around using my stealth skill, even though we've been having a lot of conversation here?
That's okay. Yeah, I mean, you're not inside the city yet, so maybe stealth would be a good idea if there's anybody in here.
Okay, I got to roll with my other hand and some other dice.
Do you want to have us all do stealth rolls?
That's a great idea. Why don't you all do stealth rolls? Yeah.
No,
my daughter is terrified by whatever's going on in this Call of Cthulhu adventure. Yes, Becca. How'd you do?
Epically bad.
Yeah, I feel too. Yeah, I feel.
Okay, so I'm gonna rule that maybe you guys aren't you don't have the wherewithal to kind of be careful, and you're kind of moving in like the tourists you are, like kind of walking loudly into the city.
Carousel will go right here. I could do all sorts of every single exotic animal in the world can be represented upon the carousel. We have over here. We could have some sort of a wheel. Imagine it. I was thinking about the concept of a giant wheel.
You come across a large stone statue overgrown with moss and vines. And you can pull the moss and vines off of it a little bit.
Can we read it?
It has no markings on it, but you notice once you've pulled off the greenery that it represents a large, squat, toad-like humanoid, but its face and head have been chipped away, like with a chisel or something like that. And anybody that wants to can make an archaeology roll.
Oh, well, I'm very good at this. So let's see if I've studied.
It's your job, because it just looks like it's my Uncle Greg.
Oh, yes. Let's see. That's an extreme success.
Okay, so I'd say an extreme success on an archaeology skill. What the hell? Let's check that. Okay. And I'll also tell you that this chipping away of the face, that has happened within the last 10 years, right? This thing is much older than that, though. It's been here a long time.
Well, obviously, these people are willing to let go of their superstitions.
Yes, and to be very clear, this was done intentionally, Becca. Miss Data Galicia realized this was done intentionally, and it wasn't like a normal erosion.
Can I ask, does it look at all familiar to the Doctor from his previous encounter with the foul idol of unspeakable origin?
Interesting. Well, let's see. The Doctor has, I think, 5% Cthulhu mythos. If that's not already on his sheet, he should have it now.
Adding it.
Yes. And the doctor thinks that it looks extremely familiar. But if he wants to, he could even roll his Cthulhu Mythos skill, which is only 5%.
Yeah.
But see if he can glean any more information.
Let's see. Let's roll those bones. Does a 99 help?
That sure doesn't. So all the doctor gets is the heebie-jeebies.
I just I want to convey to them that I think that there was some sort of society here recently, and they think that this represented some sort of evil that must be destroyed.
Oh, I imagine surely some form of allegory, surely some form of ancient symbolism. But once they see modern anemones, I'm certain the people that used to be here will be very comfortable in their new settlement.
There is only one large building here that it appears mostly intact. The rest of it is missing walls, missing roofs, has completely crumbled in. So that large, almost ziggurat type structure could be approached and entered if you like.
Is this, what time of day is it?
Right now, you guys spent the entire morning on your oyster excursion, so it is approaching the middle of the afternoon, and the sun is very hot here in the city. Like I said, these buildings are baking. They're made of black stone.
This could perhaps be our shelter inside this ziggurat.
Are we still close by to the lagoon, to the fresh water?
Absolutely. So you're within running distance of the lagoon right here. They built their little settlement here on the north shore of the lagoon, just as Miss de Galicia theorized.
Okay, so can I just very quickly, the Doctor, having seen the statue, and you see it has a sort of slightly funny effect on him, he reaches into his medical bag and he opens up a little jar and he unscrews the top and just stuffs a big handful of coca leaves that he's got in there into his mouth, and he starts doing them. He's like, I'm going to go fill this jar up in the water. And he takes off for the water.
Good idea, my jazzy friend, but watch out. I will say I saw something in there the other night. Exactly. It's not ready for human interaction yet.
What did you see?
Why even spoil it? It is just, let's say, there seemed to be some natural water life out there that I haven't seen in a bit. It's of some size, and I'm quite curious to see it in the daylight, actually.
Well, before we go in the building, I want to try and see if there's anything to make a weapon out of, because he just scared me when he said something big in the water.
Oh, that's a great idea. Why don't you?
My one instinct is that when there's normally a place to be, other things go in there to have. They are there normally first, which I've kicked many things out of their previous homes.
Why don't you give me a spot hidden roll? And if Walton is helping you, he can make it as well, Miss de Galicia.
I'll help her.
Yeah.
Ooh. Okay. We've got. Is it a 10 or a 0 on the 10s die? That's a 0.
If the ones die comes up with a number and not another 0, it's not 100. That didn't make a lot of sense. But what do you think you rolled? A 0 and a.
Didn't find it.
Oh, what did you get?
I failed too.
I'm looking at my dice are black, so I have to look at them at the right angle.
Right. Okay. Well, then I'm going to say you can push the roll. Right? You're looking for what exactly are we looking for? We're looking
for a
tool, a weapon. Yeah.
I'm looking for a big branch, like a pretty thick, a couple inches around, so that I can use my arts and crafts skills to shape the tip into a point.
Yeah, that makes sense. Do you want to push the roll? So when you push a roll, you roll it again. But if it fails again, something negative happens. Would you like to try that?
I think I keep looking.
Okay.
Oh, absolute 0. That's an epic success.
Wait, is it 0, 0?
0.
Oh, that's 100 actually.
Wait. No, but the 10s on the 10s die.
It's a 0, and the one's die is a 0.
Hmm.
That's it. Yeah, that's 100. I'm afraid. So it's a critical fail, which means something really bad happens. And so what I'm going to rule is that you're walking along and you're looking up. You're not looking down. You're looking up for that branch that you mentioned, and you fail to see a place where someone had dug a hole and kind of hurriedly filled it over, and the water and the weather and time have kind of opened up this hole a little bit, and Miss De Galicia falls into it. Give me a dexterity roll, please.
Ouchie, ouchie.
These are bad dice. These are very evil dice. They're going to go away. It's 81 on 60.
Oh, that's too bad, Miss De Galicia, because you then take, I'm sorry to say, 1 HP of damage from falling into this shallow hole. But when you raise your face up out of the mud and the muck and the dust, and your dress is quite ruined, you see around you that there are a bunch of golden objects that someone has apparently buried, and then the rain has kind of washed over this hole and opened it up again. You are looking at a bunch of maybe thousands of pounds worth of golden jewelry of extremely unique design. They're inscribed with geometrical and marine symbols. And as you look at them, you notice that the luster of them says that some alloy other than gold has been included in the making of this strange jewelry. So
I don't know if you know this about me, but I love jewels. So I take my skirts and I start filling them into my skirts to make a little basket out of the skirt.
Can I see her doing this, or am I just...
Absolutely, you were with her. You absolutely can.
And look at these treasures.
Madam.
They're so beautiful. And I start putting them on around my neck and on my arms.
Madam, they are absolutely becoming of you. But I will say you might need some help doing some form of... I might help you look at these, and we can see how much they're actually worth. And we
Do you have an appraise skill, Mr. Walton Weatherall? Do you have appraise?
I got 5%.
I think Walton Weatherall would have more than that for appraise, so I'm adding some skill for him on the fly. Cheers. Yeah, he has actually a 24 in appraise.
I could try to roll it.
Why don't you try to roll that?
Can I return from the lagoon?
Yes, so you were just getting fresh water. Is that true, Doctor?
Yes, so I return absolutely chewing my gums.
I fail my roll.
It's a king's ransom. It's an amazing treasure.
Yes. But these
are priceless art objects. Yes.
But when you look at them,
selling, they are beautiful. We must wear them. You must give them to women in your life.
What's going on here?
We have found treasures of immeasurable value.
And cultural significance as well. Some of these belong in a museum.
Could be.
I think it's best that for now we put them back where we found them.
I just want a few to wear. They're so beautiful. I love them too much.
Let the madam wear them for now, and when it comes down to it, we're all just trying to find ways to make ourselves happy in this scrappy environment that we're all forced to be in. That's why I have my cigars.
There's something strange about this island.
I just take a couple. I just wear like 2 of the necklaces and a bracelet on each hand, and I put the rest back in the dirt.
And I take whatever one that looks most like it would be great for my museum. Like I'm gonna find one being like, ha ha ha. This is exactly.
You beat me to it, Mr. Weatherall, because the prize of the collection is an oddly large tiara that has actually a strange kind of pearl in the center of it, and those strange geometrical designs flow beautifully along it. And as you raise it up, would someone like to give me a medicine roll?
Sure.
Doctor?
Very reluctantly. I rolled a 46 against a 70, so I passed.
Yes, it is built for a skull that seems oddly elongated, but Mr. Weatherall, it would definitely look great in a museum. What a piece.
They said that my museum's only for men back from the war. But this type of piece will bring more women into my establishments, because women actually control the pocketbooks of the homes.
So
You're going to like this too, Miss De Galicia. There's an enormous blade. It is not the kind of cutlass that you were used to. It looks more like a modern machete, but it is inscribed with the weird symbols and made out of the beautiful golden alloy, and it kind of glitters in the sun. Would you like to take that?
I'm going to take the machete, as well as a couple jewels to wear. I give him the tiara, of course, because he's very excited about putting it in. I was on the hunt for something to make me feel safer, so I want to carry the machete, even though I may not be able to wield it very well.
Can I say, just as a sidebar, that this is setting off every single Cthulhu alarm that I've ever had in like my own body, and it's a role playing challenge to play someone who has not read H.P. Lovecraft.
Well,
Yeah, exactly, right? It's
I
very.
will say,
It's strange.
Oh, look at all this ancient alien-looking treasure. I can't believe I'll just take it.
Dr. McCorkadall can certainly argue with them about it.
What's the doctor think we should do? Because I see no problem with this at all.
This is absolutely incredible. I've been searching for. This is literally what I've been looking for.
It inspires me to write a tale about the woman who is marooned on a desert island. And
I'm going to make so much money.
Guys, the argument goes on for a while. I mean, it's all perfect. But what's next? Are you going to investigate that building? Are you going to leave now? Maybe McCorkadall convinces you. Let's leave this place alone. It seems to be how he feels.
We got to check out that building.
I think the doctor, like, what the actual doctor would think is just like, this is not important now. Like, we need food and we need drink and we need shelter, and like this treasure, fine, we'll spend it when we leave the island. We'll take it with us, but for now, we should continue to search and find if there's any way to get off this bloody island.
I think we should come back to the ziggurat in the morning when we have time. We should think about how we approach this building. I know for a fact that most times that when things look like a place for things to live in, oftentimes things are living in it already when you arrive.
I thought you could come in and take any place that you want to be yours.
When I have my muskets and my attendants, yes, absolutely. That is really when you want to approach something. I normally like to approach the carry a big stick.
Well, think of me as your attendant because I now have a shiny machete. And I show it off. It glimmers in the light.
I am with the doctor. I am with the doctor. Honestly, I think we should shore up and come back with more time to investigate.
I want to try and intimidate these two to go open by pointing my machete at them and saying, "You will go open the door, and I will stand behind you and protect you."
Can I offer an advantage to Becca, which is that the doctor is clearly real high right now, and also like when he came back from the lagoon, there's just water all in his beard, like all down the front of his shirt, because he's just drunk a ton of water out of this like a jar. So he's like, you know.
Let's roll intimidate because it's fun. I'm not going to force anybody to do something they don't want to do, but it sounds like the doctor will probably go in with you. How'd you do?
Broken. They're all broken.
Really?
And they're all broken.
So Alma spits a bunch of Spanish curses at you and shakes her machete and calls you cowards in 2 languages.
Can I ask a question? What is Alma's appearance rating?
Appearance rating?
Yeah, like what's your appearance number?
85.
Yeah, I think the doctor is a bit stressed by her because of the way she looks and things like that. So I think he is also like, just like the path to damnation lies in front of me, like this woman. Like, she doesn't do. So I think that like he's again like that's why I want to suggest like an advantage on the intimidate roll, because he's out of it and like doesn't fully comprehend.
That makes sense. Okay, I'll allow you to roll a new 10s die, Alma. In other words, you can re-roll your 10s die and see how it goes.
Okay, well I had 80 on my. No, wait, that's the okay. Great. I forget. I grabbed back up.
Well, that's okay. Just re-roll it then. I'll allow you to just re-roll it.
That's right. You are intimidated by me, and by a magnitude of just normal.
I am just sick of having
exactly hard success.
Ooh, a hard success.
I will have you open this door, Doctor, and I will not hear another word about it.
This is literally this is the most weapons I've had pointed at me since the last time I was married. So let's just do this.
Your ex-wife seems like a smart woman.
Okay. It sounds like the party is going to open the temple here. So the three of you push back the door, the slab that Miss De Galicia was referring to, and then you are looking into a big open area in the bottom. It's all one room. It's not like many tiers or anything, but there is sort of a raised dais in the center with sort of an altar stone. There are windows up above and like shafts of yellow light kind of come in, and you can see motes of dust and vegetation kind of floating in those shafts of light. And along the walls is the most markedly interesting feature. There are many square panels with circular raised designs in them on two walls, on the west wall and on the east wall.
Can I do an anthropology roll? Does that work?
You certainly can, yeah.
I got it. Yeah, hard success. Under the 10. I got a 50. I got 6 out of 50.
Ooh, that's great. I want you to check your anthropology, and I want to tell you that what you are looking at is a calendar. And your hard success lets you know that the panels on the west wall are the daytime calendar, and the panels on the east wall are the nighttime calendar that details the rituals of the people that lived here.
Very, very interesting. So it was something about collecting light from either side. And what day is it today? Where is the light falling on the calendar?
Right. So the day is it's falling on a day, and you can see that it looks like it's correct. Like it's like you figure out where April is, or like where May Day is, because it's almost May Day for you guys. And you look at it, and you see a panel, and it's like circular in like the old Mesoamerican style, and it shows tremendous amount of fish surrounding a man on a boat. That's the center image on the west wall, the daytime calendar.
Food should be plentiful then. This must be some sort of harvest time.
It should be. Yeah, it should be plentiful. Yes.
But
you also realize, and this is the last thing I'll say, that there should be corresponding panels on the west wall, the nighttime calendar.
But there are none there.
There are. There are. Yeah, but you're looking right now that all of that fish, and it's many fish have been carved surrounding a little man on a boat. There should be a corresponding image over here if you go and look at it.
Let's go look at it.
Let's go see.
When you go to look at it, you see an image, and the image that you see
is a fish in a boat with many people surrounding.
No, I'm afraid not. No, the image that you see there. Yes, okay. It depicts the central carving in the circle depicts people who are bound naked to rocks, with a priest or shaman type figure standing over them, and large frog-like creatures approaching from the water.
I'm glad we missed this part.
Well, actually, that's someone like to make a history or archaeology roll.
Oh, I'm great at archaeology. What does my check do for me again?
Later, we'll see if the skill improves.
Thank you. Okay, mixing up the dice here.
Come on, new dice.
Today is a rough day. I have a headache.
It is rough. I know that you failed, but I think that it's okay, because what I think is the fail in this case does still give you the information that today is what that image is depicting. This ritual or this time of year is now. And I want Alma to make a sanity roll because she failed. She is a little bit surprised or shocked by this.
Can I use 1 point of luck because I'm 1 point off?
You actually cannot use luck on sanity rolls. So you failed?
65.
Okay, that's okay. It's not that horrific to realize that maybe some sort of sacrifice occurred on this day every year. I mean, what are the chances anything like that will happen again? So you only take 1 point of sanity loss.
Now, can I notice, is this just one big room? Is there no other place to go? Like, are there hallways for stuff in here, or are we just inside just one big empty room?
One big room. The back of the temple is largely caved in, so there may have been other parts to the complex, but not anymore.
Can I go look at the altar?
You may.
What do I see?
When you look at it, it does not appear to have any sort of stains on it, or
It's just a table.
it's just kind of a big slab up on a dais where they perhaps could have performed the rituals that took place inside of this temple. Yeah.
Can we do a check to see if there's any sort of like blood or different, like what materials may be on the slab?
You can make a spot hidden roll.
Finally, I succeeded at something, and it is a hard success.
Alma, you don't see any blood or any kind of materials on the slab, but as you look up in the doorway of the temple, you see a figure move away. And then because you're watching, you just barely hear tick, tick, tick of feet running away.
Do they sound like human feet?
I can't tell you that.
How much figure did we see?
How much? Very little. Like a head, and because the sun was behind him, it was like silhouetted.
Well, I would like to
painted.
And this was at the front of the door or at the window?
This was at the door you all came in through.
How'd you
I would like
describe
to run to the door.
You're running to the door?
Yeah, I want to rush to the door and try and spot whatever it was.
Great.
I had a concept. Do I still have my rope?
Sure.
Can I tie a rock to the end of my rope to make a kind of like a swinging weapon?
Make a sewing roll. You're going to begin doing that. Miss De Galicia, would you like to do anything?
I would like to sneak to the door with my machete in hand and just peek around it.
So both you and McCorkadal are going to the door.
Yeah.
I get it.
Alma is going a little slower. She's kind of sneaking. Dr. McCorkadal, you run to the door and you can make a spot hidden to see it, because the minute you get out there, you don't see him, but make a spot hidden.
I rolled a 30 on a 40.
That's great. You see a figure, and it is definitely human, in like a kind of a weird pointed hat with like some kind of like furry or like leafy shirt, kind of hoofing it off into the jungle.
Should we try and call to him?
No, no, don't get their attention.
Senor.
Are you going to do that?
No, I would do it until I do it.
Okay, go ahead. You call out to him. Alma sneaks up and goes, "Senor, come back!" Unless you want to make some sort of persuade roll or something, Alma, he doesn't appear to be coming back.
Let's intimidate him back.
I got an extreme success on my sewing roll to make I got an 8.
Okay, you now have a rock on the. You got an extreme success. Check it if you haven't already.
Yeah.
And you now
I'm the best sewer in fucking role playing game history.
You now have like some kind of bola weapon. Who knows if you'll be able to use it? But you have it. Yes, Miss De Galicia, how'd you do?
Around, you creature in the jungle. And I roll a 54 on a 65 to intimidate.
Oh, excellent. So what you do is you're speaking in Spanish, because when you get angry, you kind of slip back into your Spanish. And after a moment, a man comes out of the woods, and he definitely has the look of like a Spaniard, but he's wearing like kind of a shirt that he's kind of constructed out of palm fronds and things like that. And he looks really worse for wear. He's got like a big beard. And he starts speaking to you in Spanish. He's like, "Hola, señora."
Hola. What are you doing here?
This island is my home.
Actually,
what's he saying?
How many people live here? He's from here.
Only me.
It's only you. Are you certain? Are you absolutely certain?
¿Por qué tienes mucho miedo? Why are you so afraid?
No one has been here for a very long time. I have been trapped here for years. I have not spoken to another person for many years.
Can he lead us to some good form of shelter or a place where we can find food?
Will you take us to your home?
We've
Yes.
crafted here, and we promise. Tell him we promise. If he can help us, we can get him off this island, and I'm gonna bring him to this incredible place called New York.
¿Quieres ir a New York?
Yes. You have a boat?
Not
That.
quite yet, but I'm certain if we can just gather all of our supplies and get all on the same page, we can figure out a way off this island.
Necesitamos tu ayuda.
I am a Christian, and I believe in helping fellow Christians. Are you a Christian? And maybe even a crocodile here is like Christos. You know what I mean? Like,
Oh, for God's sake, it's a bloody papist.
We just gotta act like a cultist until he helps us out.
Right. Yes, I can do it. Oh, yes.
Praise
This
Jesus
business.
Christ! I love me and Jesus.
follow me. And he takes you back down. He takes you around the lagoon, and he takes you through. He knows like these little paths, and now you find yourself going down to that rocky section of the beach. But he takes you down to this little kind of cave that's hidden behind a bunch of brush near the lagoon, and he's like, "In here, I live."
Can I do a
cave."
psychology roll on him?
You may.
I don't have very good psychology, but it did improve after our last adventure. So let's see if I've got a read on this fella. No way, baby. I've got no idea what he's doing.
Would you like to push it?
Sure, okay. Given that I hope that you're not going to make me fall off the cliff if I miss my psychology roll.
No, you're not quite on a cliff. You're more like on.
I made it.
You
A 9.
did.
Yeah.
Okay, I can't let you check it because you had to push it. But I think that the way you pushed it was you like kind of grabbed him and you were like,
I was like, listen, don't you understand? Martin Luther made it very clear that the papacy is bad news, all right? You should be a Protestant like me.
This is not a time for your anti-Catholic rants. We just got to get inside of this cave, my friend.
I'm a lapsed member of the Church of Scotland. I don't even barely follow this stuff anymore. But the point is, I must be better clear. And anyway, yeah, a bit of that.
You are sure that he's lying to you he's lied to you about some of the things he's told.
Yeah,
there's something shitty about him. Like when you were traveling, he kept like looking back at you like he was like making sure you were all with him, and you think it's something more than just his isolation that's making him behave this way.
Okay,
I
so
don't think we should go in his cave.
can I genuinely? I've got a hold of him, like a proper hold of him.
Sure.
Am I bigger than him? Am I beefier than him?
Yes, you definitely are. Yeah, because what's your size?
My size is 65, so I'm not.
Oh wait, let me make sure. Actually, yes, you are. You are a bit larger than him. He's 60.
Okay, great. So yeah, well, I'd like to try and attempt. Let's see. I don't know if I've got much in the way of intimidate or anything like that. Well, like this guy's lying to us. He's selling us a bunch of old leaf docks fish business, or some phrase that makes sense to this guy's a mum chance Mary. He's telling us a bloody load of old fish wives' tales.
He's looking up at you with like spittle coming off of his lips.
So I guess I'd like to try and intimidate roll. I'm no good at intimidate, but I'm hoping that maybe my pals might be better at it.
What do you want me to ask of him?
Ask him to tell the truth. Where's he taking us? What's he doing? Is he walking with these frog-faced fellas?
You could do it the hard way, or we could try to do it the soft way, where I could try to persuade him to come onto our side and understand how we have a mutual, if we can all help each other in the circumstances, maybe everybody's lot of life can be improved.
How'd you do, Mr. Galicia?
He is he is moderately intimidated.
Okay, he is intimidated. So he immediately screams and says, "Fine, I lied. There is someone else here. I have a friend, one of the natives. He is down in the cave. I was afraid to tell you that I'm friends with one of these native savages."
Can I lean in real close to him and go like, "Are you talking about a frog man?"
No.
You have
Someday. Come out someday. And suddenly a man comes out of the bush, and he is a native man, and he is tall and strong, and I believe we have an image of them both now as they are looking at you. Yes, here they are. Artwork.
Oh, I'm taken aback by how handsome. What was his name?
Sunday.
Oh,
That's
Sunday.
Yes.
He reminds me of
Sunday,
Diego, my fiance, who I must return to.
My
Yes.
good man. We are all new to this island. We are I would go as far as to say bit of tourists here. It's a temporary stopover. Thank you so much for any sort of wonderful any generosity on your we're just looking for a bit of shelter. I don't know if you can understand me.
I translate all this for them into Spanish. I don't know if he speaks Spanish. I assume
Okay,
so.
he understands, and they both smile, and they say to follow them down into the cave.
It's a regular Robinson Crusoe situation. I'm told. I've not read the book. Like I say, I don't read novels.
Well,
He's so handsome that I am completely taken off guard and don't know to be suspicious anymore.
I don't know. I mean, maybe I can do. I don't know if I have. I'm trying to think what other thing I can roll that would like question this, because I don't notice anything about them. So, and like when I see them, what's specific about Sunday? Is it just like he's just like a dude, right? Can I roll like an anthropology
That's
thing?
a great idea.
Like,
And yes, you
anything about
may.
him?
Actually, you may, Henry. You may roll.
Can I roll a medicine to get a sense of what the deal is with Sunday? Like, if does he look? Get a sense of the human physiology.
Yes, you may roll a medicine. These are good ideas. Yeah.
I fail.
I would like to roll charm to see if he, responds to my wink.
Very good. You may do that.
I failed, but I might push if that's all right.
You may push.
And I failed that. Great.
Okay. So something bad happens when you push. So I'm going to allow you to know something, but it's almost too late when you know it, which is that you are kind of inspecting Sunday, and you are getting up very close to him, and he's kind of looking at you in the eyes, and then he smiles, and you see that all of his teeth have been filed into sharp fangs, and
I don't like it.
He kind of realizes from all of your inspections that the jig is up, and he tries to bite Dr. McCoy's nose off.
I lunge
Not
at
my
my
nose.
as soon as
That is
it's
when
possible.
Walter Witherell also notices that some of the designs on Sunday match the designs from the sacrificial motif inside of the temple. And now we are having a fight. So here it's happening right now. I have all of your move scores here. I know when people go, but I am going to allow, because of your failed push, Dr. McCorkadal, I am going to allow Sunday his first attack. Okay,
That's fair.
that sounds fair, right? So Sunday.
Good luck, mate. I think we can all agree that a drunk Scottish man is easily the match of an extremely muscled native beefcake.
No, I've been to Glasgow. I've seen they're great.
But fine people.
Beer
Well,
thick.
he succeeded hard.
Oh dear.
Yeah, that's not great. And he's going to now try to bite your nose off.
Oh,
Aye. Do I get a dodge or anything like that?
You can do a dodge. You can do a dodge, actually. Now, the thing I'll mention about dodge is that if you do that, your action for the round has been used by your dodge. I'm pretty sure that that's right. Clint, if I'm wrong, yell out to me that I'm a fool, but I'm almost 90% sure. So would you like to dodge?
I think I'm going to try. Yes. I don't want to get my nose bit off by some lad. And
Okay.
even though my dodge is shite, I'll give it the old country try.
Yeah.
having a nose, it might spare you some later struggles of.
I did not successfully dodge.
You did not successfully dodge. Okay, so we're going to find out if you still get an action this round. We're looking that up. But in the meantime, you take 3 damage and he rips a piece of your face off. He doesn't bite off your entire nose, and blood sprays into the air. This is what they didn't put
3
in
damage, right?
So, okay. Now we begin our turn with Alma. Alma, you may act.
I am holding the machete and I just lunge forward. Let's see. I have a sword stats, but that was for my cutlass. So can I use my strength?
You may use your sword fighting skill if you'd like. Even though it is not exactly a cutlass that you're wielding, it is still a sword-shaped implement. So you may use that.
I'm gonna use my right hand. Yeah, and that works. Just barely 47 on 51.
That's great. So you can now roll a d6 plus 1, I believe, is your sword damage. Is that correct?
I've got my Cthulhu D6.
Oh, beautiful.
More than the dice.
6, baby.
6 damage?
You are nothing like Diego.
Okay, so at 6 damage.
That's 7 damage. 6 plus 1.
Oh, okay. So
very solid battle cry.
He may have taken a major wound. So he, on his turn, is going to have to make a con roll to see if he even stays conscious. And because you took out more than half of his HP in one attack, he will take a major wound, which means you may have lopped off his arm or something like that.
Yes, go.
Then it is, let's see, now it is Crocodile's turn, but it does not use your action. Thank you, Clint. So Clint sent me a message. It does not use your action, but all of you only get 1 dodge each round. Does that make sense?
Right.
So if multiple attacks were coming at you, you could only dodge 1. So McCorkadal, it is your turn.
Okay, well, I think what would I like to do? I am not a great, more of a lover than a fighter.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think he's going to be
as you mentioned, you were like, I don't want to fall off a cliff here. You are like looking down into this like tunnel of this cave, which is quite steep, right? Like it leads kind of down. And then also the lagoon is kind of, down a slope to the other side of you. So there is sort of a terrain here where one could be pushed or
can I try and shove him?
Yeah, you want to shove him into the cave or into the lagoon?
Lagoon.
Okay,
Nothing says "good night, motherfucker" like being pushed off a cliff into a lagoon.
Great. I think that's still going to have to be a brawl fighting attack.
All right.
I can't just let you roll your strength for it. I'm afraid.
Okay, well that was my one plan to get around the fight.
It was
I'm bad at fighting.
People still have defenses. They dodge around. They jump around.
Actually, do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to say this is what I think the doctor does in this situation is that I'm very worried about the fact that he's just like torn my nostril and so I like to try and do first aid on myself. So I go put
the doctor, oh God, and like moves away, like trying to heal himself. Absolutely, go ahead and make your first aid roll. That'll be your action for the round.
Smashed it, fucking smashed it. Apologies for the language, but I rolled an 11 on a 70, so that's an extreme success.
First aid gives you 1 HP back. Now Sunday will go, and what he's going to do is first roll his con to see if he stays conscious. And he fails. He gets a 63 on a 60. Oh, he just barely failed. So I'm going to rule that Alma, you've lopped off part of his arm. He's like, and then he just kind of goes, and he's like awake for a second, and then, so now only your Spanish castaway, your Robinson Crusoe type is still standing, and it is now Walton and they both have a move of 6. What is your dexterity, Walton?
My dexterity is 55.
Yes. So my man, my Caruso type man, his dexterity is 60. So it's higher than yours, I believe. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So he's going to go first. And what he is going to do is he's going to run down. He's going to run. He's running down into his cave. Trying to get away from all of you, and he's going to make a dex roll to see how far how far and fast he can.
You better run. You led us here.
So he's not doing very well. He did badly on his dex, so he's kind of like scrambling down the rocks down into his cave and kind of stumbling and falling as he like runs from all of you. And now it is Walton's turn.
Can I tag him with my new little weapon?
We can give it a shot. You don't have Bola skill.
Yeah, there is none of that. Yeah, but it's like
I told Dr. McCorkadal if he wanted to attack, he couldn't just roll his strength. He had to have like fighting skill.
I need to get a hold of him. I think my goal is to go and like I can't really attack. I want to catch him. I don't know if I'm bigger than him or not, because I think I had the same as him, where I have my size is 65.
It's too fun not to use this weapon you made.
Yes, yeah, I have to.
I think you need to try it. Okay?
I gotta try to tag him one time.
I think that your makeshift bola skill is going to be equal to 1/5 of your dexterity. So that should be on your sheet already. It's basically an extreme dexterity success. How much is that?
It's a 55 is my dexterity, so I'd have to roll an 11 or under.
Okay, but here's what I'm going to do for you. Because I said that he failed his dexterity roll and is really kind of falling and stuff like that as he goes down, I'm going to give you a bonus die to that. So you can roll 2 10-sided dice and see if you roll an 11. Let's give it a shot. Why not?
So just roll twice, essentially, on 100. You got
That's
it.
right. Mm-hmm.
All right, let's try one. All right, one go. Nope. Didn't get it. Nope.
Okay, so you kind of throw it like Walton is like swinging this thing at him all of a sudden, which is absolutely absurd. But he is kind of getting down into his he's going to get down into his cave soon. Alma, what would you like to do? It's your turn now.
I think we need to finish off Sunday.
Okay.
I imagine so he's on the ground and like semi passed out but keeps popping up to attack is the thing.
I don't think he's going to be able to hop up to attack. He failed his con roll from taking a major wound from you.
Gotcha.
So he's down for the count. If Alma is truly bloodthirsty, she could end him 100% right now.
I should learn from my mistakes, Becca, those mistakes, and not necessarily take any opportunity to kill a weakened NPC. So I'm gonna go deeper into the cave. I want to follow after this guy, and I imagine that if the swingy rope rock couldn't reach him, that he's not really in range. So I'm just gonna follow him for now.
Okay, so as you're like climbing down into the cave, you're now like getting to where the sunlight isn't, it's just kind of getting through, and like you hear his echoey voice ahead of you going, "You don't understand! They're coming for their sacrifice!
Oh God!
We have to give them flesh!" As you're like climbing down after him, and I'm gonna have to require like some kind of climb roll from you to like kind of give chase to.
Hold on, I thought I saw a workaround here. Like, it's almost like I'm riding a horse, like learning to climb. Maybe I can use my sword as a cane.
A sword as a cane.
Or maybe I'm just being very careful and stealthy this time. And last time I was just straight up climbing. Oh, I can jump. I'll just roll climb.
Well, yes, but you know what? All of those things you said were valid. I don't mean to roll my eyes at you. You can like go carefully if you'd rather. Would you rather do that?
Yeah, I would like to stealthily move. Yeah.
Stealth instead.
Okay. Well, I rolled exactly my climb and pretty good for stealth. Yeah, not quite hard success. But.
So eventually, Miss De Galicia, at the end of your turn, you kind of come down into the sandy bottom of the cave, and you've been really stealthy, and you see that the other castaway has like a flintlock pistol, and he's aiming it up at like the direction you guys would be coming from, but he missed you because you went like stealthily kind of like around another rock, and he's in this like cave where he's had like kind of a campfire set, and there's also this enormous cage where those chutes have been like worked into like a big cage to hold people. Ooh. And there are all kinds of fishing poles and spears up along one wall, but he's just waiting for you down there. And then we come to McCorkadal.
All right, well, I would like to display traditional Christian charity and quickly slit this guy's throat while he's on the floor.
Okay, you do that.
Great. Just a quick deploy one of my scalpels and just pop.
Oh,
They're not both dead.
Half dead.
And I want a sanity roll from McCorkadal for doing that.
Sure thing.
I know that he has seen some shit on the high seas. He's been in the shit, but I still think killing a man that way would do something to your soul.
Now he's real zoomed out from those cocoa leaves.
I wonder if I'm absolutely buzzing. This is incredible. Some guy just tried to bite off my nose, and I killed him. I feel on top of the world.
I'm just starting to wonder who I'm on this island with. Just my companions.
Can I ask Secret Clint if he knows what my sanity is? Because I printed out my sheet again. And
it is equal to your POW.
But it's been restored since our last session. Has it?
That's great. I think it was restored. I think we restored it at the end of the last session. Did we not?
Okay.
55.
55. Okay, great.
Thank you, sir.
I failed.
You failed. Okay,
annoying.
I'm afraid. I do think that slicing a man's throat in my universe, that's a D3. And that was going to be equal to 2 sanity loss for you, my friend. And that is your action. And now it is our friend, the Castaway's turn. And he is going to make a spot hidden roll to see if he sees Alma hiding there in his cave.
No.
He critical misses. He doesn't see Alma hiding in the cave at all. He doesn't. Okay, that we'll leave it like that. And then it is Walton Weatherall's turn.
Now I watch Alma go into the cave after you did. I just watched him slit this other guy's throat.
That's right.
Can we check this guy's body for see if he's got anything on him? Like either valuable or like food or a weapon or something like that.
Scalp would probably belong in a museum.
He has a knife. He has a big knife.
Can I take it?
Yes, and he is wearing some of the gold that you guys have found, like a similar kind of necklace.
I'm going to take that as well.
And he also holds in his hand a strange stone. And we might have a picture of one of these stones for you to look at. It's not in his hand, but it's on his person. Can we show that stone, Clint? We'll see it in a moment. But what I will say, here it comes. Yes. So it looks like that. He's carrying a stone like that. Okay.
Anthropology roll. Does that work or no?
Actually, give me an occult roll.
Yeah, let me do an occult roll. Yeah. No. I got 60 on a 40. No.
Okay, no problem. Meanwhile, let's go back to Alma.
Okay, I want to sneak up on him and take my machete to chop at the pistol in his hand.
Very good. And as you are sneaking up on him, he's like, "We must give them someone. We must give them a sacrifice." And you stealth forward. And if you want to make a stealth roll right now, I will give you your attack a bonus die. Because he's kind of out in the middle of the cave, so to be a
bonus die meaning an additional D10
when you attack. So first, I just want a stealth roll, and if you succeed, I'm going to give you a bonus to your attack.
Let me push it. I like step on a rock that sort of makes some sound.
That sounds right. Okay, do you want to push your stealth roll? Yeah. Go for it.
Okay, we got it.
You got it. Thank God, because I was going to let him fire if you hadn't. You do make it to him, and he doesn't even see you coming, and now you can make your attack. I'm not going to give you the bonus die. No, I am. You can attack with a bonus die. Go for it.
Awesome. So I'm going for my sword roll, and then I'll roll one of these die again.
That's right. Yeah, roll one of the 10s die again to get the best result you can.
Awesome. We got. I always forget. Is the 10s digit? Does that make it? If I roll a 0, it's just a 0. Yeah.
Yeah, unless you roll 2 zeros, then it's 100.
Great. So we got 70, and then I'll roll 70 and 4.
Okay. So a 4. You rolled a 4
on the reroll.
Great.
Oh, I rolled 1.
Yeah, that's
Hold
a
on.
critical. It's a what?
Hold on. It was a 47 and a 70.
Okay, and what's your sword skill again?
51. So we got it.
Okay, so you made one. So you did it. So you bring your sword down on him. He's not even expecting you. Go ahead and you wanted to hit the gun, right?
Yeah, I'm hitting the gun. We'll see if it hits his fingers or not.
Okay, yeah, we will. Go ahead and do damage for me. Roll the 1d6, and your sword comes down, and it shatters the flintlock. Those are complicated little devices, as you know.
I rolled another 7 damage.
Okay, so I'm going to say 7 damage is a lot. I'm going to say you do lop off a couple of his fingers, and the gun is smashed. Like everything's falling apart with the gun, and now he's like, ah! And like blood is like squirting out of his fingers.
I know my turn's over, but I yell at him to get in the cage.
Very good. And now I will say that he does do that, and he is sitting there, and he is like kind of like losing blood, and now we can leave combat. And now I want you all to know that the sun is starting to kind of go down over the trees, McCorkadal and Wetherill. And Alma, you are watching this guy like hold his hand and kind of get lightheaded as he loses blood below. And he just keeps going, we have to give them someone. You may join her in the cave, gentlemen. I think that's probably what you would do unless you have a different idea.
Yeah, we're going to
Let's ask him where the sacrifice happens. Where do they put the sacrifices?
He says, the east side of the island. Don't give them my flesh, please. It's too horrible. I beg you.
They do not have a sacrifice.
It seems to be if one of us was going to be a sacrifice, I would choose the newest member of our group. The man in the cage.
And he says,
"Well, do they like eating people that already dead? We could always give them the fella outside Sunday."
Yes, they'll eat someone who's dead.
Psychology roll, please.
Go ahead.
I rolled 100. I think he's telling the truth, everybody.
Interesting.
Look, my role playing clearly let you know that he's going for any kind of way to like kind of trick you, and he's like, but you have to take me all the way to the east side of the island. It's the only way to accept the sacrifice.
You can carry the body. You can carry Sunday, and you can put him on the thing, and then we'll sacrifice him. And I turn to the other two, and I'm like,
or do we just try to hide in this cave overnight? They think about my idea, which is we do the same thing that man just did for tonight. We stay in here, we build up a bunch of brush and shit on the hole in front of this cave, and we try to act like we try to hide through the night. So if they try to come for us, they know where to find us, I guess. I don't know how long that they've known this gentleman.
I would like to know what happens if they do not receive a sacrifice. Has it ever happened before on this day of the year?
They will never stop coming. They will hound us and harry us across the island. They will dog our steps. It has happened to me, Signora.
Friend, we don't know your name.
My name is Castillo.
Castillo.
Roberto Castillo.
You mentioned you are a religious man.
I'm a good man.
I hope that you have said your prayers because we are taking you to be sacrificed.
No!
I see no other way, gentlemen.
But they will only accept a female sacrifice.
You're making shit up.
I want to ask an anthropological question to myself of whether there's a historical record for that.
Yeah, sure.
Aside from young virgins, which I am not. Oh, she is really having an off day on her lore.
Well, all I will say is that you guys are having like bad rolls to see that he's lying, even though I'm clearly showing you as the keeper he's lying. So play with that however you want, but you can still do what you as the player would like to do.
I'll tell you what Dr. McCockadale was going to say to him. It's like, look, you might want a female sacrifice in your dread, foul religion. Where I come from, you get what you're given and you're happy with it. And if that can apply to small boys with hopes and dreams growing up in Edinburgh, it can certainly apply to frog-faced sons of bitches that live in the lagoon. So they're getting you, and that's final.
Okay. So what are you going to have him do? You're going to have him march across the island carrying the body of Sunday?
Yeah.
And I've got this rope. We can tie him up.
Yeah.
You can do a thing. You could drag it to you could attach it to his feet, or we can do a whole thing where I'll just hold on to this rope.
Okay.
Attach him to the body too, so that he's got this like weight on him.
Okay. Cut to, you guys are all walking across the island through the jungle, and Castillo has the dead body of his friend tied to him, and Weatherall's got him like on like a leash, and he's got like his dead friend, and he's covered in blood, and he's missing fingers, but the doctor has kind of like, fixed them so that he won't bleed out. And you guys are kind of walking across the island, and it is nighttime, and the moon is shining down, and the whole image and the things that you were doing are so awful. I want sand rolls from everybody.
Yeah, that's right.
We Scots have a phrase, "nae bother," and in this situation, this is nae bother.
Yeah, I got a
shite.
I get a 69 out of 60.
Okay.
Good for what we are here.
You take one sand loss, Walton. How did you do, Alma? You
Very
failed.
well.
You take 2 sand loss. Dr. McCorkadall, you already cut a guy's throat. This isn't bothering you.
Yeah, I told you, I rolled an 11 against a 55, an extreme success. This is turning out much better than I thought.
These are just the rules of engagement for you.
Listen, I'm a soldier. I'm a sailor.
Eventually, you come to a beach, and it is on the east side of the island, and you can see in the moonlight far about, way out at sea, there's this huge rock that looks to like be part of a reef, and people can make spot hidden rolls right now.
Oh, fuck's sake, I rolled a 19.
I got it. I got actually, and I got extreme success.
Oh, well then, I'm sorry to say that, Walton Wetherell, you're the one that sees something moving about on that rock. In fact, several somethings kind of moving about, flopping about, throwing their limbs out on this rock, but it's maybe half a mile, 3/4 of a mile out there. And he's like, "That is where we must offer the sacrifice, Signora."
Over there with the frog people?
You can't quite see them. They're just silhouetted by the moonlight. They look slick and covered in slime.
Of course they do, the filthy bastards.
Gentlemen,
The only thing I'm going to say here is that how do we know if we bring this is our gift for the party, right? Obviously, this is our version of we're bringing a housewarming gift to them. How do they know that that's the gift? And then they're not going to randomly choose one of us.
I want to intimidate Robert Castillo into telling us the procedure that he was planning to use to not be taken when they're already on the rock there.
Go ahead, intimidate him.
No, can I push it?
You can.
Even worse.
Okay, so that means something bad happens. So you are, Alma, you are excoriating him. You're screaming at him. He's like sitting on his knees, like with his dead friend tied to him, like looking up at you. Did you have his arms bound, Wetherall? You were the one doing the tying.
Yes, I did have his arms bound.
Okay, no problem. So he is like looking up at you, and you are yelling at him. And here's the bad thing that happens: everybody's paying attention to Alma because, man, when she's angry, she is a sight to behold. And she's screaming at him on this moonlit beach, trying to scare him and telling her what his real plan was. When behind her, unbeknownst to all of you, some things rise up out of the surf. They're squat and large, and their skin is pitch black like obsidian, and parts of them expand and then move like that, and they start loping toward you, but you're all watching Alma scream at Roberto Castillo, and that is when he takes his tied hands and he smiles at you wickedly, Miss de Galicia, and he starts laughing. And then he pulls from his pocket, or he tries to. Let's see how he does with his sleight of hand.
I'd like to kick him in the junk.
Oh, no, too late. The bad thing that happened from Miss de Galicia is happening. So, but I have some good news for you. When he tries to pull something from his pocket, he drops it because his arms were bound, as we said, and another one of those rocks with the weird symbols falls into the sand. And now everybody is suddenly aware that there's these things behind them and everybody must act. And so here is our climax. We are going to start with Alma de Galicia.
I would like to grab the rock.
Okay, you grab it. It is, as you saw before, it's got a weird insignia on it. You now have that rock. And I think that's all you can do. You had to kind of like scramble across the sand and grab it. Then
protect us so that they'll know we are the ones giving the sacrifice. So I want to hold on to it.
Yeah. So then
have, Sunday's rock, or we left it?
Yeah, Walton, did you bring the other?
Yeah,
Walton has that. Walton has that. So now this other thing, like these things, it's their turn, and they suddenly let out this enormous bellow, and the smell that wafts across all of you makes you turn and look at them, and there they are in all of their glory, their horrifying, mind-bending glory, these fish creatures. There are 3 of them, and I need sand rolls from everybody.
Me crocodile, be glad you have no nose right now.
I passed. I got 14 out of 60. Yeah, 14 out of 60.
That's great. You do not take any sand loss.
I'm good. 16.
You do not take any sand loss.
I rolled a 95. In McCrocodile's mind's eye, he remembers being a small boy and he remembers squashing a frog under his foot as a child, and he's like, "Oh, they've come for me, the frogs!"
Oh no!
Only 3 stand loss, McCrocodile. Very lucky roll for you. And the things lope toward you after screaming like that, and they are going to. Let's see. Everybody make luck rolls.
Just roll under our luck.
Right, and if you've used some luck, you have to roll under the new total.
85 luck, right? Yeah, I get a 35 out of 85.
Great.
I made it 25 out of 59.
Okay.
Nah, I got 39 on 27.
For some reason, poor Alma doesn't have very much luck. So one of them lopes toward you, but as they go to grab you, you have that stone in your hand and they go and kind of back away from you. Another one lopes toward Castillo, who is like, "No, the stone! Give it to me! The stone!" And then 2 of them grab him and they start dragging him toward the surf, and he's like, no, don't let them take me. You don't know what they do. They don't kill you right away.
He wanted to do it to us.
That's exactly where he belongs. I think that he's
now it's McCorkadal's turn.
So have I gone insane?
No, you have not. Because
I have lost 5
on a turn
in one time, right?
You haven't lost 20% in the last hour of game time, I don't believe.
Uh-huh.
So you are not insane, but you're not doing great.
Okay. God, what do I want to do? Yeah, now there we go. Okay. I mean, not yet, technically, but let's be honest. He's ready for a fate worse than death, it sounds like. So, what do I want to do? I think I'll just reach into my trusty bag of old tricks and find an old nerve steadier, a particular tonic of my own creation, which is 9 parts laudanum, 0 parts anything else. And I just take another bolt of the good stuff. Just steady my nerves.
Okay. You do that. You steady your nerves. If you are losing if you have any lost HP, you can give yourself 1. We'll call that great. A little bit of a first aid roll for you.
I'll take it.
Then it is Walton's turn. Walton, what would you like to do?
Well, now he's being dragged off into the forest, right? Because I'm just into the sea? Yeah. I was holding out the stone, right? And I'm waiting for them to go. I'm just but I know for a fact I would love to get a hold of a flipper. I would love to figure out anything that they have. Is there any way to see? Because now this is kind of resolving. Are there more frogs coming our way?
Not more, no. So 2 are dragging him off into the sea. 1 is kind of over Alma, but has paused, is stopping.
Yeah, it's like this, right? So we're all holding these things kind of at sway.
Well, not all of you.
Yeah.
2 of you are.
Yes.
So
I would say because now it's like my goal is to wait for them to get him the hell out of here, because I know that for a fact that like now that they will be assuaged, whatever it is they're going to be they've been satisfied for the evening.
Right. Okay, so you're just kind of holding it out there and like kind of like
waiting.
I would like for you to make a power roll.
A power roll.
Power, yeah, your power score.
I get it. 29.
Okay, the stone seems to kind of bubble in your hand, but you keep your hands on it, and it kind of shakes in your hand as these things like while they're near you, and anytime they like lurch closer, it like shakes even harder.
Back away! Unless you'll come with me willingly, and I swear I will give you food and shelter if you're willing to come with me voluntarily.
Alma, what would you like to do? It's your turn.
I just want to study them visually, pick up information for perhaps writing a villain in a future mystery novel, and see if there's any details I pick up. So maybe that's anthropology.
Sure.
About like where they might live on this island, whether they're here year round or they're in hiding for part of it, or why am I rolling so badly today?
I have an answer to what just happened. This isn't something you can study with your human anthropology, Miss de Galicia. It defies the laws of man and the cosmos. So instead of your anthropology, you gain 7% Cthulhu mythos knowledge from this horrible experience.
Hell yeah!
And now it is their turn. The two of them drag Castillo into the water. He's now going like, no, please, no. And the one that was like hovering over Alma turns to McCorkadal and starts loping toward McCorkadal and is reaching out to grab him. And I think it's going to try to do that.
Oh no.
Run, McCorkadal! Run!
And it succeeds. And it's going to do its damage.
It's damaging me. What a son of a bitch.
It's grabbing you, and it's going to do a little damage in its grab. Okay, here it comes. Here's its grab. It does 5 damage in its grab. Is that more than half of your HP?
No.
Okay, so you don't need to make the roll for a major wound or to stay conscious. You stay conscious, but now I want you guys to know that the one that was left, the monster that was left, the two are dragging Castillo into the sea. One just has a hold of McCorkadal and is easily, it's rippling with muscle. It's dragging McCorkadal into the sea. McCorkadal, what do you say as it like lopes with your body toward the surf?
What do I say?
Yes, would you say anything?
I say, have some of this, you scaly bastard, and I try and stick a scalpel into its eye.
That's so fucking cool that I'm going to go ahead and let you do that. And I'm going to say that you can...
Can I use a medicine roll?
Yes, you may. Because it's too cool not to let you do that. Yeah.
I mean, it's really surgical aim it takes.
I just made it. 67 on the 17.
Right into its eye, and it goes... and it drops you into the sand, and it's like... and it sprays something out of its mouth, and it sprays it onto all three of you. Make con rolls.
Sorry, everybody.
Con rolls?
Yes, that's right.
I just made it. 62 on a 65.
I got a 24 on a 50.
Ooh, got it. 30 on 75. So that
you guys are just thoroughly disgusted as you're covered with it's like a shark chum. You realize it's like pieces of old fish, and then it lopes into the sea after its comrades, and then soon they go beneath the waves. The last thing you hear is Castillo going, "Madre de Dios," and then he goes under the waves, and then you see
you're going, sunshine.
The things way out on the reef slip off the rock, and then I'm going to say that you guys kind of just sit there dumbfounded until morning. The sun starts to come up, and you notice that in the water in front of you are thousands of fish leaping and glistening in the air. The water is so filled with fish that you can reach out and grab one, and one flops up onto the shore, right onto Wetherell's lap.
This is absolutely fantastic. I'm going to eat the shit out of this.
And then we cut back to the Neptune Society many years later in a room above an old tavern in Limehouse. And the man finishes reading the beautifully written account of what happened on this island. And he says, this was found by an American whaling vessel that then went to the island and rescued our guests tonight. Please allow me to welcome Dr. John McCorkadall.
Here I am, rock you like a hurricane.
You guys come out and everybody cheers you. Yes, and they hand you wine. And you have succeeded. You all survived. You solved today's adventure. Congratulations!
I can see my big plaster frogman that is my newest display in my New York thing, and it's just just a jar of that chum that I saved.
I'm signing copies of my latest novel, Woman and the Frogman.
Genuine Island Frogman remunerations.
It's the basis for The Shape of Water, isn't it? It was based on Alma's The Woman and the Frogman.
It is indeed, but the last thing I'll say, and this will really end it, is that the Neptune Society has a museum of curiosities. And into this museum, they put, you probably jealously guarded the golden items that you had procured, but maybe there was one that the rescuers found. They found an odd coral-type crown, and they put it in a little glass case, and they shut it. And that has been today's edition of the Neptune Society. Guys, thank you so much again. I want to thank my incredible players, Humphrey Ker, Becca Scott, and Henry Zebrowski. Man, it was so fun.
So much fun.
This is I want to have all these guys back anytime that they can come. And I want to remind you guys to listen to Last Pod on the Left. There's a book, right, Henry?
Yes, last book on the left. A good serial killer encyclopedia fashioned by three morons. We got it out there, illustrated by Tom Nealon.
Yes, and please watch our Wednesday show, Vampires of Pittsburgh, where we play Vampire the Masquerade, and our new Friday show we're doing occasionally called Stream of Blood Laboratory, where we play new games or games with the people that created them. That's on Friday at 6 p.m. And watch Mythic Quest Raven's Banquet with
it's free. It's on the Apple. It's free.
And watch everything that Becca. Is there anything you want to tell people about? Or
I have a new podcast. It's called To Boldly Watch, where we talk about old episodes of Star Trek: The Next Generation. And then I have a role playing game on my channel. It's called Endymion's Gate. It's set in dream space.
That sounds fucking cool, and I'm going to watch that. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Becca. Thank you, Humphrey. Thank you, Henry. I'm going to say goodbye to my incredible players, and I will hang out for just a little bit to answer any questions. Thank you guys again. We'll have you all back. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. I'm the last one. They haven't come.